Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, going to go over a story titled, I Stalked My Husband for 2 years Before I Formally Met Him. And a big shout out to Joseph for sending me this story. And guys, this story is about a gal. She's 24 years old, hasn't been married too long, and she shares how she met her husband. She actually posts online the wacky way she did. And unlike a lot of people that meet through natural ways, she admits online in Reddit that she stalked him for 2 years and then plotted and conspired to get him in his life, used people, manipulation, all that, made up a lot of lies to get him. Crazy, right? And then thinks it's a brilliant idea to tell him all this. And his reaction, well, let's just say it's not what she expected, and then she's having a meltdown about reality setting in. And that'll be a good one to go over here, guys, because we all like a crazy story and understand there are a lot of wackos out there. So, you can be on the lookout for them. But also just something that's just pretty darn funny for a Friday. And there are a lot of wacko gals out there. There are wacko guys too, but it seems like the gals take the crazy to a whole new level. Guys can't outdo girls in the crazy department. It's never happened. So it starts off, says here, I, a 24-year-old female, married my husband, a 28-year-old male, about a year and a half ago. The first time I saw my husband, I was a freshman in high school, and he was a freshman in college. He was walking his dog at the park when he stopped to talk to my brother, a 27-year-old male, because they happened to go to high school together. I'm guessing the brother she's talking about is 27 now, not back then. That has to be. That was the moment I became hooked. The same day I found his Instagram, his family's social media, and also where he lives, since my brother offered to walk him home while I tagged along. When I got home that day, I knew I wanted him. But of course, I was only 14 while he was 18, so I came up with a plan. So instantly, social media, Instagrams, other social media, found out where he lives, all that. The crazy starts at a young age, guys. A lot of people think it develops later in life. It starts young. I found out his younger brother was only 1 year younger than me and would be attending my current high school. I figured that I had to befriend his younger brother by any means possible next year when he moves up as a freshman while I became a sophomore, and I did. It took around halfway my junior year where we became best friends, and he invited me over regularly to his house to hang out. This is where I was able to befriend my current husband's mom, and God, did she love to talk about him. So she makes friends with his younger brother to get to him. And this whole thing. Now, some of you might say this is a BS story, but you know what? You can't make these things up, and truth is stranger than fiction. There are people that wacko out there, okay? It says here, from his mom, I found out what college he goes to, his past girlfriends, what his elementary middle school was like, his favorite and least favorite foods, his pet peeves, what he likes, etc., etc. Eventually, when my visits started getting more and more frequent, I formally met my current husband again. Current husband, I'll call him E. Would come over every other week and stay for either Friday through Sunday or Saturday to Sunday. On those days specifically, I would wear my cutest outfits to impress him and also joke around with him a lot. So I'm willing to bet you that this dude's younger brother here thought he was probably one of those beta guys that, really liked the girl, but didn't have the balls to ask her out. So he went through the friendship route and probably always carried a torch for her. Meanwhile, she's there for the older brother. Eventually, I befriended him as well. A little background on E. E is the current husband. He is a school record holder for a certain sport in my school, which I just so happened to do. And around halfway through my senior year, E came back during the season to help coach the current high school athletes, which included me, in order to get some more volunteer work hours in, and I got to spend a lot more time with him. I loved every second of it. We were friends before, but then we became much closer since I got to spend lots of extra time with him after school, where sometimes he'd even drive me home since we live relatively close by. This wacko's been planning this thing for years, and either she is legal now or soon to be legal. Fast forward to when I had to move away to NYC for college. E moved with me since he coincidentally got a job near my college. And now she says in parentheses, never mind, I lied, it wasn't a coincidence. I found out he got a job offer and applied to a college nearby his workplace. Remember that movie from like 30 years ago, The Crush or something with Alicia Silverstone? I'm thinking right here. Whatever the hell that was called. Being each other's only friends in a new state, we became incredibly close. We started dating when I was almost a sophomore year of college, and he proposed to me after I graduated, and we just got married almost a year ago. He knows absolutely nothing about how I truly know him and believes it's fate that brought us together through his younger brother. Good Lord. They have been plotting and scheming and manipulating since Eve got Adam to take a bite out of that apple. I kid you not. It says here, lately, I've been debating on whether or not I should tell him, or at least his younger brother, the truth, since the only reason I befriended him was to get closer to E. I feel guilty every time he tells others our love story, because the truth is, I've known him for 10 years, while he's only known me for about 7. So it takes a crazy person to go screw up a situation like this, but would I tell you that girls love drama? An update, she says. I read a reply saying that the best thing for myself is to keep it a secret, which is what a lot of people are saying, but the best thing for him is to tell him. And I figure that person really is right. I'll be telling him this Tuesday on his day off. He deserves to know who he married. Well, that's very nice. She has this all come clean to him after 7 years. But the thing is, he already married her. He's already in love with her, invested in all that. So she, in her mind, deep down knows he ain't going anywhere. Or so she thinks. She says, update on July 6, 2023. So this is only a few days ago. I told him this 4th of July. Oh, great. Ruin a man's 4th of July. After the fireworks mostly ended and we were heading back, I asked him in the car, wouldn't it have been weird if we met each other before the first time we actually met? But we just didn't think of each other as significant at the time. He smiled and told me, saying, that's impossible. There's no universe where we would have met, and I would not think of you as significant. That statement struck me in the heart, because I knew I would soon prove that sentence very wrong. But I continued on with my plan anyway. Plotting, and scheming. She says, what if I told you we have met each other before? Before that time, I was introduced as E's little brother's friend. He looked at me like I was crazy. So that's when I pulled over on the side of the road and pulled out my phone to show him the post I put up here, and that explained everything. So she showed him the post that I first read in the first, 6 minutes of this video. It took about 8 minutes to read the whole thing, and when he finished, he put the phone down and stared straight ahead, almost like he was dumbfounded, scared, and confused at all the same time. What do you expect? He's thinking, oh, I got a psycho in the car with me here. I started throwing out every excuse and apology I could muster at the moment for about 15 minutes straight. When he decided to stop, told me to stop, and I did. Let me guess. I'm so sorry and all that shit from the Hobag handbook. Then he just sat there and sobbed uncontrollably for about 10 minutes before he finally asked me of how much of our relationship was real and how much of my identity was fabricated according to his liking. Well, you can't blame the guy. I mean, I don't like this sobbing uncontrollably. You never let him see her cry, but he's obviously pretty shocked, so fair enough here. But, yeah, he doesn't know what's real or what's not. I told him the honest truth. None of my personality or identity was fabricated for him, except for the fact of how we met. The only thing I ever changed about myself to make him like me more was lying about Chinese food. I hate Chinese food, but other than that, everything else was real. Well, the bitch has to go. She doesn't like Chinese food. I mean, that's a deal breaker. Although my friendship with his younger brother was built upon ill intentions, my friendship between his brother and I now are one of the most genuine friendships I have now. Well, you ain't gonna be friends for much longer, honey. He just cried and told me that he does not want to divorce at all, but he does want us to have some time apart so that he could absorb the truth that I gave him. He also said he expects me to tell his brother and mom this Friday because they deserve to know the truth just as much as he did. I told him okay, and we drove the rest of the ride home in silence. Yeah, he's probably like, oh my God, this bitch is crazy. This bitch is gonna fucking kill me in my sleep. When we got home, he hugged me and cried for about 5 minutes before he got out of the car, packed his stuff, and said he'll be staying in a nearby hotel for now. He said that he knows he still loves me, but does not yet know how to react to the fact that the beginning of our relationship was very, very orchestrated. I guarantee you there is far more things going on than she's admitting right now. Guaranteed. To sum it all up, I guess telling him was a success. I honestly don't know. He sent me a good night and I love you text last night while he was at the hotel. So I guess he's now not mad as much, and he may be betrayed. Well, so you think. Now for the update. She says here, I woke up this morning to find that my hubby not only lied about going to the hotel to stay at, but also lied about not wanting a divorce through a text message. He went to his family's home, not an effing hotel. He told them the entire story himself, probably exaggerated it too to make it seem like I'm crazy. You are crazy. His whole family wants nothing to do with me too. Claims I'm a psycho. Do psychos know they're psycho? Really? He said that he lied about going to the hotel because he knew if he told the truth that I would stop him. Honestly, I feel so betrayed. You're feeling so betrayed and you're mad because he lied about going to the hotel, even though your whole relationship was a giant lie, all orchestrated and plotted and schemed. I get a young girl having a crush on a guy and all that, fair enough, but this goes to a whole new level. This chick is mental. I try to be a good wife by showing him the true me, and this is what he does. I did all this work just to end up like this. All this work. Honestly, I kind of deserve it. Oh, well, look, her mind jumps from one thing to another here. I didn't even tell him in the first place because I felt bad. I told him because I had a suspicion that he was catching on to the fact that I knew him for 2.5 years before he knew me. Largely because I found out he was keeping my old phone in his work desk. My old phone that has screenshots of a lot of his old Instagram posts, plans in my notes about him, etc. She kept notes on him, her old phone in the past, about probably different things, where he goes, what he's like, all these things. So I guess he never truly loved me if he can't even get past an honest confession like this one. I might update these in a few years when I find a new husband, LOL. This chick is freaking nuts. So once again, guys, this is why you spend a lot of time getting to know your girl. And it sounds like he obviously did, but he didn't really know her. This is why I think it's almost mandatory that guys have a PI investigate. It can go both ways. Men and women have private investigate, like a credit report, like a background check, to find out who he or she is before you get serious with them, because you just never know. Well, this chick is fucking mental, and I don't know how he didn't notice other things about her before. And already she said, fly here. I might update again in a few years when I find a new husband. So she'll be off to the next guy here. So I don't blame this guy at all. He has every right to run for the hills, and who'd want to be married to that? But at least he hasn't been married to her that long. Now some comments here to show I'm not alone in thinking this girl's a nutcase. One guy says here, the OP is crazy. The poor husband probably lied because he didn't know what she is capable of. He probably thought that she would hurt him if he was going to divorce her. She's absolutely unhinged, and I'm scared for any man she may date or marry in the future. Yeah, and typically it gets worse and worse and worse. She is going to be stalking this guy, and I can't begin to imagine the crap she's going to pull. Think Fatal Attraction here. Another guy says here, if the genders were flipped and my best friend was in the situation, I would tell her to do exactly what a husband did. Tell the spouse it's fine, and they need to process in space. That everything is okay and get the fuck out of there. And immediately tell all the family and close friends and circle the wagons. Just a wild story and situation, hope it's just a troll. This could be a troll, creative writing exercise just to get attention and get a good laugh, but truth is stranger than fiction. You never know. Another guy says here, and this is her quote, so I guess he never truly loved me if he can't get past an honest confession like this one. And this guy says, no, honey, you're just a little boy crazy and create yourself a relationship based on lies that would only survive as long as the lies did. She sank your chance at the relationship before it even started. Another guy says, laughing my ass off. Don't take advice from Reddit people. She's nuts, but telling him was so damn stupid. Her life was perfect, and she nuked it because some strangers told her to. Geez, I just chuckled and shake my head at this dum-dum. She did this because she wanted more drama and excitement. That's why. And one more guy says, honestly, I remember reading this and thinking, she's psycho. I bet she left a couple of details of maybe how she scared away any potential girlfriends in the past. Anyway, I'm sure that guy had other girls that liked him, and I'm sure she did things to scare him away. As for him possibly exaggerating the story, he didn't have to. They just had to read the post. It's certain this is not over yet, and she'll stalk him aggressively, especially once he starts to move on with another woman. Can you imagine what she's going to be like when he's with another woman if he does that? Because it's going to take him a long time to trust somebody. Oh my God. Again, think of the movie The Crush, Alicia Silverstone, that was like 30 years ago. Or think of Fatal Attraction. Put those all together. I swear to God, I could write a whole screenplay. That'd probably be a best-selling book or movie based on like all these stories that I've read or the ones that have been sent into me. I'd have to get a lot of legal stuff covered because people send me their stories, but holy crap. But anyhow, guys, never ceases to amaze me. Alright guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.